Love that energy, Miss Clara.
Good day, family. It's the time you've been waiting for. That's right, Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Well, I am so excited. Let me tell you, you could be doing a phenomenal thing, and that is watching this live on my website. Go to clarahubbard.org and hit live stream. We're also on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're coming up on Facebook Live, Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard, as well as LinkedIn. But let me tell you, our guests today, I am so surprised. I wish I could see their feet because this group is called the Share Network. And let me tell you, they share love, they share resources, they share an embodiment of things that can make our community greater. And they are building it through the University of Chicago. Let me tell you. So everyone stay tuned. Senior Talk is live. We'll be right back after our opening. All right, family. Welcome again. As I mentioned, you're watching Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard live, and we are so excited. This is a beautiful time in our city, in our state, in our country, because this is more of a show that I would say it's really about the sincere advocacy of making sure that older adults have the quality of services that they need. One thing we're going to tag, which we know is very, very important, is dementia, and they call it a center, our core values. I hope that's correct, but we're going to dive into all of that. So before I go any further, we're going to bring them closer to our screen. We want everyone to say hello, introduce who you are, and then we're going to get into the meat of our program. All right, so let's say, I know the lady with the glasses with the cute earrings, my friend, the honorable, the very, very busy Monica Long. How are you this beautiful day, sister? How are you?
I'm doing well, Clara. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Monica Long. I'm a clinical research nurse educator with the Share Network here at the University of Chicago, and we are so happy to be on your show today.
All right, and next up, the young
Hi,
lady.
Clara.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Clara. Shelley Williams. I'm a geriatrician and also palliative care physician here at University of Chicago Medical Center. And Clara, very happy to be on your show and to experience your energy and all the knowledge you're providing for so many.
Oh, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And who was the other who was that charming gentleman? I'm sure I've met him before.
Hey, Clara. Yeah, I'm Jeff Graupner. I'm the Program Development and Evaluation Manager with the Share Network, and I'm happy to be on Senior Talk. What can I say?
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put it back to this screen. But what I'm very excited about is this. There are so many elements that I've been watching. One, I watched something from the previous Attorney General, and he mentioned how isolation for older Americans is almost as a disease in itself. So you have covered those angles, and you have a lot of programs that we're going to bring to the platform. And if I could, I hope I prepared correctly. There was something that I wanted to share with our viewership. There we go. Boom. I'm smart. So let's see. There we go. So if you would like to, who would like to start navigating the Share Network with our viewership today?
I'll start with that, Clara. We're with the Share Network at the University of Chicago. We are a geriatric workforce enhancement program, and we're funded by HRSA, which is the Health Resource Service Administration. And we were tasked to provide workforce education for those caring for older adults. And then we also branched this out into the community. Our overall goal is to make sure that we are providing the health resources, the education, and just the support of older adults. That is our primary goal. We have a few different arms to our program. As I spoke about the workforce education, with the workforce, we do geriatric training within primary care settings. We do training for CNAs. Primarily, we have a CNA Leadership Academy. We do training with the social workers, the nurses, the nurse managers, and anyone taking care of older adults within the workforce, because we want to make sure that their needs are being met overall. And so as we think about the workforce, we also think about the community and the families that are also taking care of people living with dementia or just older adults in general. So we branch this out into the community, and we do things like healthy aging presentations. We do health fairs. We're in the community doing whatever they need us to do, and then we also provide our physicians here, like our geriatrician, Dr. Shelley Williams. We provide that specific geriatric training that they have. We provide it out into the community so that the older adults and their families understand what's going on, what's changing, what they need to work on, what they need to help them continue to stay at home. So we have a lot of projects that we work with in the community. And then one of our other arms is the faith-based education. We provide dementia training and education for older adults, caregivers, and the community within the churches. And so we're very proud of a lot of projects that we have out in the community. We're making sure that everyone is knowledgeable about their health, and that they're also understanding that there are resources that can continue to help them live and stay healthy.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Williams, if you would, let's talk about the geriatric training. I mean, there has to have been so many elements that have happened since COVID that now you're really taking a stronger impact into the community. So what has that experience been like? Tell us about the geriatric training and how you serve the community.
Sure. So we do not have enough geriatricians to serve our geriatric population. There just aren't enough people who are trained in geriatric medicine. And especially in the setting of COVID, so many people walked away from their regular medical follow-ups and care. So it really becomes important to have people gain those basic skills in how do you pick up on some of the specific disease processes that older people can be more at risk for, like dementia or like falls or brittle bones or chronic pain. You know, those are oftentimes things that we're focusing on in geriatrics. What medicines are you on and how can we reduce them? So a big part of Share Network is about educating the community about these different geriatric syndromes, but also training other healthcare professionals, whether it's nurses or nurse practitioners or community-based physicians, in how to pick up many of these geriatric syndromes and get people to their healthiest state possible. And we do that a lot in Share Network through a process of trying to create age-friendly health systems where we approach getting people to know about geriatric syndromes through what we call the 4 M's: mentation, getting screening on whether or not you have trouble with your memory or trouble with depression. We focus on what matters, establishing a plan for your care in the future if your health begins to decline. We focus on mobility and trying to get people as strong as possible with their walking and movement and limit their risk for falls. And we also focus on medications and trying to limit them. We as physicians, we're not trying to push drugs. We really aren't. We want to try to minimize them, and we want to try to get people on medications only if they need to be, and then reevaluate when it's time to come off of some of them. So we're doing a lot within Share Network.
So, Jeff, there is an umbrella that you're sitting under that has been momentous. And if you could tell me, how long has the Share Network been around? And then what is your role in this great process?
Yeah, totally. So we've been around since 2015 is when we first established. I've been around 6 of those years. And we like to call ourselves a small but mighty team. So, you know, there's only a handful of us here at University of Chicago, but everyone is picking up slack and picking up responsibilities to make these great programs work. My end of it happens to sort of be in the evaluation. How do you tell that a program is working? We don't want to just do these events and not hear feedback or anything. So that's where my sort of role comes in. but we also we all work hand in hand to create these programs because we want to deliver the best sort of programs to the community that we can.
Absolutely. So one of the things I'm excited about, and we're going to talk further, is that I created something called the Senior Talk Live and Learn series. And so it's kind of not the same, but I can see you being a big branch to what I'm doing. I go to senior communities. Instead of waiting on a health fair, we go to them either a Tuesday or Thursday throughout the summer to check on them, see how they're doing. We bring Medicare, Medicaid, some resources, exercise, some light refreshments. And we also do something where you can come in. It's called the, what is it called? The Midday Music Memory. So we have a DJ, we're engaging their thoughts and memory, and it's a big to-do. We did our first one May 17th or 18th, and at one senior building, 40 residents came out.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's pretty big because they didn't have to leave their resident. They came downstairs like jogging suit, flip-flops or so, and we were able to engage them right away and see what other services that they needed. So I will tell you, dementia is a big one. I call it cognitive enhancement. That's a big branch, but I like the softer terms that you're using, age-friendly. You know, that's just my thing. Because I don't call people seniors. I call them people getting better with age. It's a long stretch, but they cheerlead for it. So now how is the faith-based community? Because we know that group is already together. They're already gathered. So how has the receptiveness been through the faith-based community?
So I think it's been pretty good. And I think the reason why it's been pretty good is because most houses of faith have a large portion of older adults. And the faith community has always been a center for education and resource finding for all populations. So many churches have come to us and asked for, what do you have as far as resources? What do you have as far as education for us to be able to engage our congregants? And one of the major areas that they wanted to focus on is cognitive enhancement and sort of finding out how do you get people help and resources when they have declines as far as their cognition. So Monica and myself and Jeff and the rest of our Share Network team, as well as many of our community partners in Share Network, we've been working with churches on a program called Dementia Resource Champions, where we try to provide training for churches about what is dementia and how do you get care and support and resources for those who are living with it, and how do you create an environment for support for those living with dementia within your congregation and your community at large. So we help them do things like create caregiver support groups and create a more dementia-friendly environment within their churches. It really is about a collaboration.
That's awesome. And one of the things that I like, and we're going to share, is the video that you have about your centering your core values, because I can tell you this coming out of COVID, and we all believe that we're past it, but it's still going to be somewhere. Let's be clear. The one thing, the isolation piece, is just still so overwhelming to me on how many people are not really recognizing some of the symptoms. So we have to be educated. So that you're taking an initiative is A1. Let me say that, because I'll tell you this. We will be in so much denial of our loved ones. Oh, mom just forgetting, or dad just forgetting, or, we need to work on some way to get more comfortable and going to experts and professionals. Now, I'm just going to ask, because there are viewers and listening, is there a fee for your services?
So for Share Network, absolutely not.
How about that? That's not.
I'm just going to show you this. This is the Share Network resource guide. This entire guide is actually even online. Yes. If you just go sharenetwork.com, you can find Share Network online, and you will be able to, org. I always do that. But if you go to Share Network, even online, you can find a resource for almost anything. You can find information about music classes within the city of Chicago, or exercise classes within the city of Chicago, or housing options for supporting seniors, especially when they have cognitive impairment. We have resources like you mentioned also, Clara, centering our values, which is a toolkit to be able to support caregivers and individuals living with dementia, about educating them about what is dementia and educating them about what do people look like as they progress throughout the course of the illness. And also helping to support them throughout the decisions that they may encounter throughout the course of the illness.
Well, let's do this. I have one better. I have the video. So everyone stay tuned.
Awesome.
Yes.
Centering Our Values is a brand new resource and website for dementia caregivers and their loved ones. This hands-on guidebook includes need-to-know information about dementia, like what to expect in each stage of the disease. It also includes activities and worksheets you can fill out with your loved ones that will help guide the important decisions that come with a dementia diagnosis. If you'd prefer, you can download and print just the worksheets of each section. Or, at any time, you can download the entire 100-page guidebook, all for free. That's centeringourvalues.org.
Right. So I have navigated the website. Literally, if you're starting out in the morning, get your coffee and your light meal ready. It is so much to dive into. You've taken the greatest step in being as thorough as possible, answering as many questions. But I will also share with our viewing listening audience that it is on clarahubbard.org. We've linked everything. We sent out an e-blast today. Everything is linkable. Dig in, get what you need. One of the things I want to talk to all of you about is, and I'm going to start with Dr. Williams, is how do we get our families to really sit down and be comfortable, because we're so prideful. Oh, it's just, it's not me, or, we can't self-diagnose. Can we stop doing that? So how do you get a family member or talk to a family who may be having a aging loved one? And aging is not mean that you're losing your cognitive skills. It's just that some things are different now. He or she, like I know my family, we never knew the importance of palliative care until my aunt was diagnosed with dementia. And it was right after, within 2 years after my uncle passed, she just went into a decline. They were together all the time. When I say together, small example. She's going to the barbershop, he's waiting in the car. He's going to the barbershop, she's waiting in the car. Just together all the time. And so that was her life routine. And it had been taken away. And so she literally, we saw what it meant. So let's talk about first, how do we get families to become comfortable with seeking professional help and not self-diagnosing?
Miss Clara, I think what you said is just key and important, which is it is not normal to develop dementia or memory loss. As we age, we can see a slow decline as far as how fast maybe information comes to us. We may even have a little bit of a change that can't think of the word, and then we find out, what that word was we were thinking about 5 minutes later. That's normal. But it is not normal, to just completely forget why we went into a room and wander around and never recall what we went in for. It's not normal to forget to pay our bills and go into foreclosure because of it. And those are abnormal things that can oftentimes occur with dementia. So I think the most important thing is to realize that dementia is not normal, and that getting a checkup on a regular basis to see where you are with your thinking, your memory, your function should be a part of healthy aging. It shouldn't be seen as, oh, there's something wrong with them because we're going to check in and see where the memory is.
Mhm.
We don't think it's wrong to check in and see where our blood pressure is or where our blood sugar is. So we should do the same thing as far as our thinking and memory health. It's something that should be checked up on a regular basis, especially as we get older, because we can be at more risk for dementia as we get older,
Mhm.
but it doesn't mean that we're going to get it just because we're getting older.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we really, really, really have to get a handle on is during the COVID process, we were just trying to get through COVID.
Mhm.
And some of us still maybe after we've been open for about a year and some change and a little bit, we still have not gone back to our primary care physicians. We have not taken care of our top disparities. We're still trying to get back into a routine. So that is key to at least get back to a physician where you can get a routine and check on your well-being since that time when you've been isolated and held back. So Monica, how does one think about the services that you provide? But how do you get men? It's Men's Health Month. We're going to get to you, Jeff. But how do we get men to participate? We know women are a high number. We coming out in groups. I may tell Miss Williams, and then you and me may go, Monica, but then Jeff may be by himself. So how do we get men, older, polished men getting better with age? How do we get them to participate in the programming that you offer? Because it's a part of their lifestyle as well, or it should be.
Absolutely. And to be honest, it is a difficult task. It is a difficult task. And I'm just going to say that I've been married for over 24 years. And my husband, as an example, it's hard to get him to, to conform to different things. And so what you find that you have to find out what's important to them. Just like Dr. Williams talked about what matters, one of the 4 M's, you have to find out what matters to them and not just put on, this is what I think you should do, or, come to the Share Network because we have everything you need. We stop and we listen first. And we find out what are the needs of the men, what are the needs of the veterans. The Croc Center, for example, Miss Darlene, she is so good at, I guess, filling a room. She always has the potential to fill a room and grab a few men that are just kind of walking around the Croc Center or just kind of, trying to see what we're doing, like peeking in. But finding out what they need, finding out what's important to them is how we get them. Again, if we're not just throwing our programs on them and telling them, oh, you need to go get your prostate checked or you need to do this. No, let's talk about what's important to them. We often talk about creating a space for them, so that they're not feeling like, oh, I'm just going into what all the women are doing, their own space.
Yes.
Just men, just conversation about men, just, finding out, again, what's important to them so that we can meet the needs of them.
That's great. And I do know, having worked with Dr. Eric Whitaker for some years through his project in Zing Health, they were instituting, I think they have something called Project Brotherhood, I believe. And it's a division of just a space where men gather. Because I was told men felt threatened by the look of an actual doctor's office. And so that was one of the things. I just don't like the way it looked. I'm going to be diagnosed when I leave here. They didn't like that look. So that was one of the key things. So Jeff, what is your task? I mean, we know your task. How much work do we need to bring to keep you busy? What are your elements of working through this network?
Well, let me just say, we keep Jeff busy.
Yes.
Jeff is a little modest. He didn't tell you about everything that he does. Jeff keeps us afloat. Trust me.
Jeff actually created that video that you just saw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let me say, very good, Jeff.
Hey,
So
thank you.
talk about what are you more passionate about of the 3? I know we're talking about the geriatric feature. We're talking about the caregiving. We're talking about dementia. What is the more hands-on personal experience of the 3 that you're more passionate about? Or let me say this. Let me not say that because you're busy and you did a great job. Maybe it's a collective.
No.
So where do you come in and say, you know what, that one touches me a little bit more than any of the others?
It's tough to say because I think the underlying thing that connects all of those topics is the fact that, as Monica mentioned, we do have to listen to the community to see what the needs are. So I think in that spirit, they're all important. Anything that is, if you open your ear up and listen to the community and they're saying this is a problem or this is a need or here's a lack of resources, that's what I like about the Share Network, is that meeting people where they're at and listening to what they need. So anything that touches that, I'm happy.
And I think utilizing the community as the expert also.
Absolutely.
We really do have the community sort of navigate a lot of our projects. The Centering Our Values book was with the input of the community and focus groups, and we made revisions to it based on what their needs were.
I like that.
And we do. I'm sorry, Claire. And we do that with all of our programs, such as DRC. We started DRC a few years back, and we had to listen to the community again to see how we can, revamp it, redo it, restructure it so that it would meet the needs of the community and meet the needs of the faith-based organizations. So we're really happy and passionate to get out in the community and find out what the needs are so that we can come back to the table and make it great for them.
Well, you said the key thing is making the community a part of your navigation process. Is nothing worse than going somewhere, especially I was very happy about my Live and Learn series. We met the needs. They needed two things. They needed diabetic shoes and they needed Medicare, Medicaid information. And look at the turnout. It was something they needed. So that's what's key, is providing something that they need. And so I know we're going to be in the community together. When you mentioned veterans, I just screamed because I have literally, I have 18 veteran posts. That's a lot of posts. So we need to get the Share Network to talk to these gentlemen. They have meetings monthly, quarterly. We're going to just get the dates and schedules. I'll put you in touch with Commander. It's a serious business. Our veterans are so underserved.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming. I make it a point wherever city or state I'm in, if I see a veteran, I was in Sam's Club here in Indianapolis. I saw a gentleman. I said, "Thank you for your service." He took off his hat. That was enough for me. My husband was like,
"That's awesome."
Just because, and it's men and women, and we have to really also look into our city and state services that they're advocating for our beloved servicemen and women. It's a big deal, and I'm happy to say that I was just in contact with Commissioner Donna Miller, so we're going to be working together because she's just been appointed over the Veterans Association. I'm so excited. She's a beautiful woman too. So we just have a few more minutes. This will not end. We're going to replay this. We're going to get the information. We're going to go in partnership this year. Monica, just from a sidebar, are we going to be at the African Fest this year?
Absolutely.
African Fest Senior Day.
Senior Palooza. We have our Senior Palooza.
That's right.
First Friday of the event. I can't wait.
September 1st, which will be September 1st. Let me tell you, we have been there. It has been a stellar of an opening day for African Fest, and we thank them and many others who have Senior Day. We have some other festivals that'll be forthcoming. I'll be mentioning in some broadcasts to come. But you know what? I can say this: Monica and I, we bullies. We'll get together and we'll say, "Well, why is your event the first day Senior Day?" We did the Black Women's Expo 2019. We had over 400 seniors at 9:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So we bullies, we work well together. But let me say, I would like each of you to just give your closing remarks. I'm going to share this with multiple networks. Then we'll follow up in the next week and just see where we need to be, because I have a calendar of events through the beginning of November.
Oh, that's
and it's a good thing, because now people are in receipt of saying that they need, and they're open to seeing that, it's not anything to be shameful to say, "I need assistance." And we do it with love and care. And I truly appreciate it. So let me have a closing remark. We're going to go with you, Jeff. What is your closing statement at this time?
One thing I don't think we touched is the network part of Share Network. It's not just about us or anyone else. It's about this partnership, this network that's always getting bigger and better. So if you are an organization, community-based organization, or yoga teacher, anything, let us know who you are. Email us at info@sharenetworkchicago.org. And we'll be happy to add you to our partners list, and we can start the conversation and grow from there.
All right. And Dr. Williams, your closing remark?
I think the biggest thing is just healthy aging is about creating a routine that involves movement, that involves getting check-ins to see how things are going and what needs to be changed. And it's about connection. So if you're interested in enhancing your connections and activities, please go to sharenetwork.org and see all of the many resources that we have available for you.
And that's right, Doc, because I tell people, body in motion, stay in motion. So we got to get rid. We need yoga instructors. Line dancing. Line dancing is almost like a whole sport in itself.
Yes, it is.
It's almost a sport in itself. And what is your closing remark, Monica Long, please?
My closing remark is thank you so much, Claire, for having us on your show. We're so excited. As Jeff said, the Share Network has been around since 2015, and a lot of people are not they're not well versed with what we do. So we really want to make sure that they're going to our website, sharenetworkchicago.org, so that they can see we have events all across Chicago. We're not just centered here on the South Side. We're all across Chicago, and we want to continue to connect with other organizations, like Jeff said, and partner and find out how we can help others. We want that that dementia recognition for everyone. We want everyone to learn about dementia and to be able to recognize the signs. And as you said before, supporting each other, families coming together, not making it a stigma to find out if there's something going on. Get to your doctors, have those conversations with them. And again, we thank you so much for having us on your show.
Well, let me say it has been a pleasure. I am excited because we've only touched the surface, and we have a lot of ground to cover. All of you have been, and let me say, if I could say this, it seems like the Share Network, you go to work and you're happy to go to work. Some people say, well, but you smile about talking about what you do.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And you live in that realm, and it's very important that we continue to be of service, because I say if one person gets it, then it's all worth it. But we have many more, and we are offering looking for service coordinators, the red hat groups, the pink hat groups, the spade club, the social clubs, senior living. I got so many social clubs. Please invite us. If not, I will call you if I don't have a call by Monday. I'm a bully. No, I'm just joking. But anyway, it's been a pleasure. Thank you all for sharing your time with us. And as I say, in complete closing, we are all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separate us. Don't let your eyes deceive you. I've been your granddaughter in the community, Clara Hubbard, host of Senior Talk. Our special guest today was the Share Network. Their website is sharenetworkchicago.org. And we will see you next time for Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard. Everyone, take care.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Clara.